Okay, in last video up to 20 questions we discussed. Now we are going to continue with 21 onwards. Okay, 21 question. Which acid is present in vinegar? Which acid is present in vinegar? Generally, vinegar contains diluted acetic acid. When 4 to 5% acetic acid is present in its aqueous solution, that resultant component is called what? Vinegar. That means vinegar contains what? Acetic acid. The diluted acetic acid is called vinegar. Okay, our option is B. Formic acid is what? One of the organic acid. It is present in ants. Now, what type of reaction occurs when an acid reacts with a base? What type of reaction occurs when acid reacts with a base? Generally, as acid is acidic in character, base is basic in character. When we are going to treat the aqueous solutions of acid and base, they are giving rise to a neutral compound, salt and water. By undergoing in the reaction, that reaction is called neutralization reaction. Why? Because the acidic nature of the acid is neutralizing by the base, basic nature of the base is neutralizing by the acid. The resultant compounds are the neutral compounds and the reaction is called neutralization reaction. So always the reaction between acid base is the neutralization reaction. Why? Because H plus of acid is neutralizing with the OH minus of base and giving rise to a neutral compounds, salt and water. So the reaction is what? Neutralization reaction. So in the neutralization reaction, acid treating with the base in their aqueous forms and giving rise to what? Neutral compounds, salt and water. Neutral compound, salt and water. This reaction is called neutralization reaction. Neutralization reaction. Okay, so our option is D. Now we go to the next slide. What medicines are used to treat indigestion? So what medicines are used in indigestion? What they are called? So generally, antibiotic is used against the bacterial diseases and antacids are used to fight against what? Acids, used to neutralize the acids. So our answer is option C. Within the name only we are getting antacids means anti to the acids and they act against to the acids. Antacids, generally bases are the antacids. So in the indigestion, generally we are using the antacid, that is nothing but what? Milk of magnesia that we are using. Okay, because of whatever the excess of acids produced in our stomach, while that pH level will be decreases. So when we consume this antacid, it will be neutralize that excess of acid and pH level will be increased and that will be gives the relief from the what is that stomach pain, okay, and heartburn. So there we are using the antacids. So they will be neutralized excess of acids produced in our stomach. Okay. Next, generally antacids, where we are using the antacids? To get the relief from the occasional indigestion, occasional indigestion and occasional heartburn. Occasional heartburn, occasional indigestion means what? When we eat over food and when eat fatty food, while that our stomach will be produce more and more acid to digest that. Then due to the excess of that acids, automatically we will feel the pain, stomach pain. So in such cases that antacids will be works, okay, that will be temporarily gives the relief. That is a not permanent cure for the acidity. Okay, so that means whenever the stomach pain occurs due to the overeating or due to the fat food, then only they will be gives the relief, temporary relief from the excessive acids. That is what? Antacids. Now, Now we go to the 24th question. Among the following, which is a salt? Among the following, which is a salt? Once you see this, HCl is what? Mineral acid, hydrochloric acid. This is what? Acid. NaCl is the sodium chloride, nothing but salt. NaOH, it is sodium hydroxide, is a base. HNO3, nitric acid, is an acid. So among these four, which is the salt? Sodium chloride is the salt. Option B is correct. Okay, now next question, 25. What happens to heat energy during neutralization? So what happens to heat energy during neutralization? Heat energy playing the key role in the chemical reactions, we know that. Okay, in most of the chemical reactions are occurs by the involvement of heat energy. So here, during the neutralization reaction, that means what? While occurring the reaction between the acids and bases, while formation of new compounds like salt and water, neutral compound salt and water, there is amount of heat energy is evolved. So that heat energy is called heat of neutralization. Why? Because during the neutralization during the neutralization reaction, heat energy is liberating. So that heat energy is called heat of neutralization. So what amount of heat energy is liberating during the neutralization reaction between the acid and base, that heat energy is called heat of neutralization. That means what? During the neutralization reaction, heat energy is evolved. That whatever the amount of heat energy evolved, that is called heat of neutralization. Okay, so again this heat of neutralization is not same. The value of heat of neutralization is not same. Why? Because again it is depends on what? Strength of the acid and strength of the base. Strong acid reacting with strong base, amount of heat energy liberating, that is approximately 13.7 kilocalories heat energy per mole. So this is what? Strong acid is going to react with the strong base. Strong acid is reacting with the weak base. Weak acid is reacting with the strong base. While that the heat of neutralization will be varied. The value will be varied. That means what? The amount of heat energy liberating in the neutralization reaction depends on the strength of the acids. So what strength of acid and base is going to participate in that neutralization reaction? That determines the amount of heat energy is evolving. But always there is the heat energy will be evolved. But amount is different. That is depending on the strength of the acid and base. Okay. Now we go to the next question. 26th. What is the color of turmeric indicator in a basic solution? So turmeric indicator in basic solution gives, here four colors are given. In basic solution, turmeric is act as a natural indicator. So generally it changes the color in basic solution is red. That color is what? Red. In basic solution it gives red color. Okay. And next, which of the following is an acidic substance? Here three options are given. Again, two are given as a fourth option. So which of the following among these four options, which are considered as acidic substances? See here, grapes are the acidic substances. Why? Because grape is what contains citric acid, tartaric acid, malic acid. It contains organic acid, so it is acidic in nature. Milk also slightly acidic in nature because of the pH of milk is 6.5 to 6.7 pH range. We know pH range up to 7 is acidic, after the 7 is basic. But here the milk pH range is very close to the 7, very close to the neutral, but not 7. It is less than 7. That means milk is slightly acidic in nature. So soap is what? Soap is generally that is what sodium hydroxides, potassium hydroxides are used in the preparation of soaps generally. That means what? Soaps are basic in nature. Basic components are used in the preparation of soaps. So that is why soaps are basic in nature. Now here, grapes and milk both are acidic in nature. Then you come to the option D. In option D, both A and B are correct is given. So our option is D. Okay. Now, a base which is soluble in water is called. A base which is soluble in water is called what? Alkali. Which is called what? Alkali. So generally, in the modern periodic table, if we take the first group elements like A, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, these all elements are forming their hydroxide. They are very active, very reactive elements. They are forming the hydroxides. These metallic hydroxides are readily dissolved in water and act as a alkalis. Alkalis means the bases which are dissolved in water, 100% dissolved in water, they are called what? Alkalis. So they are fully undergoes in ionization process, producing completely OH minus ions. That all are considered as what? Alkalis. So the base which is dissolved, which is soluble in water are called what? Alkalis. So we need to remember one thing here. All alkalis are the bases, but all bases are not an alkali. Why? Because the base means what? The base which is contains hydroxide ion and turns some characteristic properties are there that react with the acids giving neutral compound. These all are bases, but bases are not completely dissolved in water. So the bases, those are completely dissolved in water, they are categorized as what? Alkalis. That means what here? All alkalis are the bases, but all bases are not an alkali. Okay, so we need to get the clarity about that. Okay, next we go to the 29th question, that is what? Multi-correct answer type questions. Which among the following acids is categorized as inorganic? We need to identify inorganic acids from these options. Already we discussed inorganic, organic in the first video only. Inorganic acids are nothing but mineral acids. They are getting from the minerals and they are strong acids because of they undergoes into the complete ionization. Organic acids are the natural acid. They are occurring from the natural food, vegetables, fruits and animals. They are what? Organic acids, and they are mild acids, weak acids. Now, among these, we need to find out the inorganic acids. See here, formic acid is the organic acid. Sulfuric acid is the mineral acid, nothing but inorganic acid. Nitric acid is the mineral acid, means inorganic acid. Hydrochloric acid is the inorganic acid, nothing but mineral acid. So your option, our options are B, C, D. So B, C, D are the sulfuric acid, nitric acid, hydrochloric acid. These are the inorganic acids. Formic acid is the organic acid. Okay. So our correct option is B, C, D. Now we go to the next slide. Making cement, calcium hydroxide is used for, making cement. Yes, indirectly we use the calcium hydroxide in the making of cement. Generally, not directly used calcium hydroxide in making cement. Calcium oxide, when is going to react with the water, it becomes hardened. That means what? Hardening the concrete, the reaction is occurs and calcium hydroxide is formed. That means indirectly it is used in the making cement. So the option 1 is correct. Okay. Next, neutralizing soil basicity. So in the key, actually we given this is as a correct answer, but it is wrong. Why? Because calcium hydroxide is generally basic in nature. It is a base. So base is always neutralize the acidity, not basicity. So here, actually, if we keep here acidity, it is correct. Okay, neutralizing the soil acidity means it is correct. But here neutralizing the soil basicity means it is not correct option. Now, then you need to correct this option. Actually, in the key A, B, C, D is given, but actual answer is A, C, D. Okay, now we come to the C. Treating the sewage water. There also we use the calcium hydroxide. In this, when we treating the calcium hydroxide, the metallic ions will be get sediment at the bottom. In that way, it is used in treating sewage water. And next, preparing bleaching powder. In the preparation of bleaching powder also, we use the calcium hydroxide. Why? Because when we treat the calcium hydroxide with chlorine, it gives rise to calcium oxychloride. Calcium oxychloride, and remaining part is what? H2O. So this calcium oxychloride is nothing but what? Bleaching powder. Bleaching powder. So that means what? Calcium hydroxide is used for making cement, treating sewage, preparing bleaching powder. So correct options is A, C, D. Okay. Now up to 30 we discussed.